On this show, we've already shared that if you want to embark on the journey of entrepreneurship, it's always good to start where you are. Now, this is the story of Grace Naikazi. She began with only 2 million shillings, and this was actually meant to do other things, buying household items. And today, she's a proud owner of 5 pharmacies across the entire Greater Kampala CBD. This is her story.
I started in 2017. It was after attending Enterprise Uganda. Enterprise Uganda mainly gave us skills, wisdom to start with, because for me, I thought starting a pharmacy, I needed something like 20 and above millions. But with Enterprise Uganda, I ended up starting with 2.5. That's what was on my account, and I always tell people I was planning to buy giant screen and sofas. But after attending Enterprise Uganda, they told us to start with what we had. And since I was a pharmacist, myself was capital, because I wasn't going to pay a pharmacist. So I started with that. I started to look for the location. Which location I found here? It was, by then it was 300 rent. So I paid for 3 months. That was 900. Then the remaining I deposited on the guy who was going to do shelves. Whereby after doing the shelves, I didn't have the capital to buy the drugs. But a certain friend of mine who was a pharmacist lent me 4 million. And I was moving from one pharmacy to another to ask for credit of drugs. Whereby I landed on some Indians. Actually, I found them at National Drug Authority. And I asked them if it was possible to give me drugs on credit. And they asked me how much was I having, and I told them 4 million. Though by then the friend had not yet given me the 4 million. They told me come with the 4 million at the pharmacy and we will talk. So now I had to be serious on my friend who had some 4 million on her account. She was ready to give it to me for 3 months. Yeah, the principles I follow to stay in business, one of them is honesty. When you borrow money, you make sure you don't wait for the person who has lent you the money to give you a call. You call them before they call you. For example, if you get the money, make sure you give them the money at the time that you promised to give. If you didn't get the money, make sure you call them before they call you and tell them what is happening. When a person knows what is happening, they will be a bit patient than some other people who end up switching off phones. One of them, keeping good relationship with your suppliers, your bankers, your employees, for example, paying them salary in time. Another thing is like trying not to exaggerate prices. When you are honest and you give the right prices to the client, they will always trust you even when things go sour. For example, if a drug it becomes more expensive, since they have been getting drugs from you, they will trust you. Then also adding value to the service we give. For example, for us, we are handling health. When make sure you are giving the right drug to the patient with the right information, so that when they consume it, in the long run, you are saving health. When you add value, people will look for you. We keep the records. We employ people who know what they are doing. For example, here, if you are a dispenser, you have to be a qualified one. And if a cashier is different from a dispenser, it's also helping us to move on well. Me, I started when I wasn't being paid in time. So when I started my business, I make sure that my employers are employed in time. And currently we are employing over 7 people. Like we have this, actually there are more than 7 people. For example, just Jinko Pharmacy, we have 3 dispensers, have 2 cashiers, we have a cleaner. Currently we are having an IT personnel, and another, like, still if you go to Malta, we have 2 dispensers and a cashier. Jogan, we have 2 dispensers and a cashier. The medical center, we have a medical officer, we have a dentist. How I've managed to manage all the 4 different facilities. In addition to having small managers, we are also using systems, whereby different systems, we use the systems to track how the businesses are working. In this business, I have achieved a lot of things. First of all, that was 2018. I constructed a 6-roomed house for my father. Then also I've paid the school fees for my sisters, my brothers. One has already finished university, one is doing nursing, and others are in secondary. And as myself, I've also bought some plots.
Now, on this show, we're keen to sharing with you tips on how to make money, grow it, but most importantly, keep it. Now, we've already talked about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Now, what this means is that at a certain point, a couple of years back, a number of African countries came together and signed an agreement which actually provides or opens all African countries to businesses across the continent. Meaning, if you're in Uganda, you can easily trade with Zambia, South Africa, to mention but a few. Now, we also appreciate the fact that not many people are aware of this opportunity, how big it is, but then also how to participate in this area. So, in Make Money Today, we're sharing with you how you can actually reap from this opportunity.
Opportunities are many when we are talking of Africa Continental Free Trade Area, because we are talking of expanding Africa market. Now we are telling Uganda you can trade with ECOWAS, the country of ECOWAS. You know there are many. We are telling Uganda you can trade with North Africa countries. We are telling Uganda business women you can also trade with the Southern Africa countries like SACO and SADC. Although Uganda is not a member, but you can use the instrument at Africa Continental Free Trade Area to take that opportunity which come up with the expanded market of Africa. So we can import and export around Africa continent.
Now, technology has changed a lot, and with it, it's actually changing the way we do business and the way we conduct ourselves in our lives. Now, today, we're sharing with you one of the technology innovations that can help you manage your stock if you're in business, but then also help guide you make certain critical decisions on bookkeeping and the like.
We come to interface with businesses, for example, pharmacies, to provide systems that help them in stock management, sales, and the entire operations of pharmacy and other business, for example, supermarkets and the rest. So apparently, we've been able to successfully implement a system at Jinko Pharmacy, where actually the system is helping them to manage stock, sales. We also provide mobile apps where the pharmacy owner can actually see what is taking place at the pharmacy all the time, do reconciliation. We also provide abilities of stock reviews to minimize on the rate of missing stock in the pharmacy. The way the system works is really interesting. We have developed some good technologies in that we are able to sell offline. For example, we have at times when maybe we don't have data and we cannot entirely rely on data to cut costs. So we provide a way a system can be in position to sell offline, and then later on in the night or in the evening, once you connect a little data, you'll be in position to synchronize your sales. So we have different applications. We have mobile apps, which are also selling offline. We have desktop application, which is also selling offline. And we also have an online system, which is actually selling entirely online. So depending on the use case, we developed a mobile app for situations where power has completely gone off. So you cannot even sell offline using a computer. But for the fact we know that phones normally contain batteries for longer, so you can use your phone to be in position to keep on selling even when you don't have power. And later on, when power comes on, you can synchronize the sales and they will go online. So that is how our system is working apparently. And apart from that, we have very many unique features in the app. One to say is stock reviews. Then we also have QR code updates, expiry date tracking. We also have features of stock adjustments. We also have stock alerts. If, for example, you have some items that are moving very fast, you prefer to set the minimum quantities on which, when they grow below, the system will give you alerts. All those features are available in our apps and the web application plus the desktop application. What makes our system relevant to different businesses, for example, pharmacies, we have developed this system with a lot in mind that pharmacy owners or business owners would love to cut costs. For example, if, for example, a pharmacy was not using a system, you'd find they have so many people who are available to, count stock, then do reconciliation on a daily basis. So at the end of the day, it will take them time and more resource is needed for that. But with a system like this one of ours, most of the things are automated. So you find you have less resource to employ, and that is also cutting a cost.
With that story, we've come to the end of this week's edition of Money and Markets. Thank you for being part of the show. Now, for me and team, we'd like to wish you a very good evening. And again, we'd like to keep the conversation going. So drop us a line on the addresses on your screen. We are present on a couple of digital channels. Let's engage. Let's see how business can be grown and expanded. Until next time, I've been your host, Charles Boji. Good evening and God bless you.